Zorn's Dungeon is the first role-playing game to be played through the YouTube livestream chat. You're not just watching the game anymore, your character is involved in the action. Spawn a level 0 character, throw them into the Bloodcage, and watch them fight for their lives. Death is permanent, but survivors can reach level 1 for even greater adventure as the game develops. Here's how to play in under 5 minutes. Step 1. Spawn your character. To play, just type bang spawn, that's !spawn, in the YouTube livestream chat anytime Zorn's Dungeon is being played live. The game instantly rolls a level 0 character with 3d6 stats straight down the line. There's also a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a random demi-human. Your starting HP determines your destiny. Low health means wizards and thieves, while high health means you get to be a fighter, paladin, or barbarian. Every character's linked to your YouTube username so you know which is yours, and we know who's playing. Each character also gets a unique ID or dog tag. You can also see which characters belong to rare professions or have particularly exceptional stats. Remember, level 0 is brutal, so spawn multiple characters to have backups ready. But be aware there's a 30-second global cooldown on the bang spawn command. If you don't get in on your first try, just try again. The chatbot will confirm what characters are created in the livestream chat. Step 2. The draft. Newly spawned characters enter the tavern. The only way out for a level 0 character is to be drafted into a 12-person party for the Bloodcage. When it's time to assemble a party, the system drafts in this priority. 1. Super VIPs, which the Game Master reserves for special guests or situations. 2. VIPs. Channel members get free VIP status once a month, and anyone can send in super chats to make one of their characters a VIP. Super chats with a specific dog tag attached guarantee that character will receive VIP status. Otherwise, the system will choose one of your characters at random. Gifting memberships also gets you and the person gifted a VIP character. 3. Active chatters. If you've commented in the live stream chat within the last hour, you get priority right behind VIPs. So if you're watching, participate in the chat to make it more likely that your character will get in on the fight. 4. The general pool. If there are still draft spaces left, then they're open to anyone else in the tavern. Yes, even if you're offline, your tavern characters are at risk and may be drafted. Note that the draft prioritizes having as many different players as possible in the party, so you usually won't have 2 of your own characters in the same cage. Step 3. Into the Bloodcage. Once the party forms, the doors open, monsters spawn, and the auto battle begins. You get to sit back and watch the bloody drama unfold. As the cage takes damage and the blood bar fills, Zorn might intervene. At 33% health loss, he might order his goblin archers to loose a volley into the heroes, or later drop a gore strider behind your lines if you're having too easy a time. And for the crunch lovers, combat, movement, spells, and all other rules are handled by the Hacked Edge game system, our custom rule set based on old school essentials. Step 4. Triage and leveling. When the dust settles, surviving PCs are hauled up to the winch room. If a character was knocked unconscious, they only survive if they have teammates still standing at the end. Otherwise, the monsters put them to the sword. Survivors earn a blood drop next to their name to indicate they lived through the ordeal. Once in the winch room, goblin medics attempt to heal individual wounds, restoring 1 HP per wound per success. Then the fairy checks HP. Anyone with enough HP to reach level 1 gets promoted, receives their class, and gets a free, full restoration of HP and spells. This is the only free magical healing in the game. Level 1 characters also earn the right to have a name. Type bang name dog tag new name in the chat to name them, or rename them on zornsdungeon.com. Step 5. Rest and return. Finally, characters are sorted to their next location. First, all dead characters are sent to the graveyard. It's their final resting place. Those characters who are still wounded are sent to the infirmary. There, wounds and spells heal in real time according to the Hacked Edge rules, meaning severe injuries may take several actual 24-hour days to recover. To keep playing, bang spawn more characters to have them ready to go. Healthy characters are sent to the stable to safely rest. They have earned their reprieve. Want to send a character back into the action and perhaps earn a second blood drop? Just move the character you want from the stable back to the tavern. You can do this at zornsdungeon.com or by typing bang T for tavern plus the dog tag of the character you want to move in the chat. You can check rosters, locations, and all of our leaderboards, tracking boss kills, maximum damage, highest XP, anytime at zornsdungeon.com/tavern. Alright, that's all you need to know to get playing Zorn's Dungeon on the live stream. Get your bang spawn ready, and we'll see you in the cage. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to another game of Zorn's Dungeon. I will be your game master tonight and also Zorn's commentator through 4 different blood cages tonight. We're going to be running 4 blood cages tonight. So if you are here and new, you need to type bang spawn. Look at the top right there. It says exclamation point spawn. We operate by bang commands. That means they start with an exclamation point. Type bang spawn to create a character and have them land in the Last Resort Tavern to fight tonight. So if you're not familiar with the lore, this is Zorn's Dungeon. Zorn is a powerful goblin sorcerer who has a fortress in the mountains at the edge of the world, right at the edge of the known world. And if you can get there, he won't turn you away. No matter how destitute you are, no matter how penniless you are, no matter what you are with all of your the adjectives that are coming up when you are spawning characters, you are level 0 character spawning, desperate to get to Zorn's fortress. And if you reach there, then he will let you in, and he will let you into the Last Resort Tavern, feed you, let you have a laugh, whatever goes on in the tavern. Even if you can't pay, it's not a problem. But once you have entered the Last Resort Tavern, even if you can't pay, you will pay by entering the blood cage and fighting for your life. So hit bang spawn to create a level 0 character, a desperate level 0 character who has come to the Last Resort Tavern here at Zorn's Dungeon at the edge of the world to fight for your life. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome. Okay. All right. How is everybody doing tonight? Oh, T66215. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, hit that again. There is a 30-second global cooldown on bang spawn. So T66215, you might have hit it and somebody else may have spawned within 30 seconds before you. So do it again. Welcome. And if you didn't get in, bang spawn again. There's a 30-second global cooldown on that command, and do that, and then see if you get a character. Oh, there you go. T66215 got a wide-eyed lector. That is dog tag Z7UF, patching themselves up for a fight with their own reflection in a dark psyching themselves up for a fight with their own reflection in a dark window pane. Sounds like exactly what you would do in the Last Resort Tavern. Hey everybody, thank you so much for being with me tonight. Okay, we're going to be playing tonight. There's not a whole lot to talk about before we get started. I'm going to bring this up. We do want to talk about the change log. There isn't a whole lot that's going on in the change log, but there are a couple of items that I do want to talk about right here. So here's the change log for tonight. Okay, last night we had a problem with holy water being thrown. I thought I had that right because holy water should only be thrown at the moment at undead and fiends. And the game was correct in saying that it was unable to damage anything other than undead and fiends. And so it was catching that correctly. But earlier on, it was not catching, you should not target creatures who are not undead and fiends. So I think we'll see. I think we will see. So now I think that heroes will only throw holy water at undead and fiends because it does only damage those 2 types. Last night, they were throwing the water that wouldn't damage anything else at things like the white ape and things like that. So I think that should be fixed now. Also, I want you to know right here that first level spells are temporarily out of combat, or should be. Again, they should be. So we should have dropped all first level spells. I'm trying to get first level spells operational, but we had situations where last night people were trying to cast first level spells and they just weren't working. So I hope I'm not guaranteeing it, but the intention here was that no first level spell will be cast tonight. I've come up with a new tool to evaluate all first level spells individually before I put them back into the game. So at the moment, they should. Who knows? I mean, it could be the case that we open up a Bloodcage and somebody tries to shoot a first level spell. But at the moment, all first level spells should be, my intention is for them to all be disabled and not cast within the blood spell, the Bloodcage. If you try to cast one of those, then you're going to fall through gracefully to another action. The intention, anyway, is that you are not going to lose an action there. But mages and elves who earn enough experience points to get to level 1 will still earn spells. So it'll tell you what spell they earn, and it'll stay on their character sheet which spell they learn, and then it'll be active again when I'm able to re-enable it. So there we go. Okay. You can't just bang VIP. That's part of a super chat. Tabletop Scholar. If you super chat and bang VIP with a character's dog tag, then it will let you in. Is there anything going on in the super chat, the comments that I need to look at? Let me bring up the comments right here, or let me bring up the Last Resort Tavern. Right here, we should have music now. Let me see. Is there anything I need to address? Let me just scroll through the comments for just a second and see if there's anything that I need to address. We've got people coming in. Dave is coming in. Tomocrat, a dented gnome forager coming in. Dave off. Some characters who are in blue still have last night's Blessing of the Fairy. The Blessing of the Fairy lasts for 24 hours. So you're going to have to let me know if you look down. Please do hit the like button. But if you look at the like button and you click that, and we have 20 or more likes, please let me know, and we will activate the fairy's blessing again. So a lot of people coming in who do not have that. Oh, who is this? Tomocrat, an uncommon character, an overwhelmed halfling burglar's apprentice, an uncommon character to roll, but happens to be Starborn. Top 2% of all ability scores. So nice job, Tomocrat. Who all is coming in? We've got some characters who are going to be going for more. Is there anything I need to address over in the comments? Lots of stuff going on in the comments. Access Your Inner Light says, I still think holy water should work on slimelings. Well, at the moment it doesn't. Okay, but that's it. Maybe slow. You know, if you saw a slimeling coming into your house, you know, you might be like, hey, I need to throw that. Need to throw some holy water on it. Maybe so. Zornsdungeon.com. Thank you very much. Sable confirms that music is working. Thank you. So we're going to have music and sound effects right now. Let's go over here to Zornsdungeon.com. If you are looking for a more granular way to control your heroes than the commands that are in the chat, if you want to look at your entire roster, hit bang, that's exclamation point char. I saw some people doing that, and you will get a roster of your characters at least as far as the YouTube comments will allow you to have. If you want complete rosters of your characters, log into Zornsdungeon.com and log in with the same Google account and YouTube channel that you are currently playing the game on, and then you will have access to all of your characters. You'll be able to see their complete character sheets, their life logs, and also be able to change their locations in ways that are much more granular than you can do through the YouTube chat. So, hey, SDK, welcome, one of our new players. Great to see you. Music sounds too loud. Well, let's we can change that down right here. Let me take that down. Okay, so I can take the music down right here. How about that? Music sounds a bit loud. I can control that. So the music ever sounds a bit loud, you can control that. When you do look at, let me look at this, show this. When you hit bang char, here is like something that will show up right here. It says that, hey, my characters right now are S. So the first letter tells you their location. S is stable, which is the safe space. If they are in the stable, they are not eligible to be drafted. into the Bloodcage, they will not fight. So in the stable, they will not fight. S means stable. T means tavern. T is where you need to be if you want that character to fight tonight. BC is Bloodcage. HC is holding cell. I is infirmary. I is infirmary. I get into the Zorn's ABCs when I say that. The next combination of letters is their dog tag, which is the unique identifier for that character. The next thing that says L is their level, and then their class right there. So that says that S, RHC2, L1 fighter. That means that in the stable, I have a level 1 fighter, and his dog tag is RHC2 if he needs to be addressed. If you want to move everybody over, you can hit... Inner Light says that Make a VIP does not work on the website. It should work on the website if you have 7 iron coins. I will look into that. If you're telling me it's not working, it should work. But if you're telling me it doesn't work, everybody who logs in the website gets some iron coins, and you are able to create a VIP. But Access Your Inner Light is telling me it's not working. So I review every one of these live streams after I get off stream and start working through the punch list. So, okay, I will look at that. If you're telling me that the VIP does not work, I will look at that. I will check that out. Okay. All right. So what was I saying? Oh, so if you have characters in the stable, you can individually identify a character by saying bang T space bang T exclamation point T and then their dog tag. Or if you want to move all of your characters over to the tavern from the stable, you can hit bang T all like I just did right there. Bang T all. And then, as you can see, I just had some characters drop in right here. It tells me that all 7 of my stable characters marched to the tavern, and it gives me all of their dog tags right there. On the other hand, if I want to go the other way, I can hit bang S for bang stable all right there. Bang stable all right there. And then it will say that, hey, 7 of my characters bedded down in the stable. If you're a level 0 character, as I was saying at the beginning of the game, the only way out is to fight in the Bloodcage. You cannot leave the tavern. So if you, but when you hit bang S all, that enforces that rule for you. So if you hit bang S all, it'll move all of your characters of level 1 or higher back to the stable. It'll leave your level 0 characters in the tavern to fight for their lives in order to get out. Okay. All right. So do we want to go ahead and go and fight? Let's see. Is there anything we need to do? Oh, we do have member VIPs. Okay. So there was something that was going on while I was here. Let's look at member VIPs. If you're a channel member, then you get a VIP entry into the game once a month. I'm going to work on the channel members levels because we have 2 levels, but I'm not sure they're fully identified. I'm going to completely revise our levels and things like that. So let's go ahead and go to channel members. Let's see what comes up anyway. Oh, Robert Romano, member for 37 months, a downtrodden antiquarian's assistant. Thank you very much, Robert, for being a channel member for 36 months. He has gotten a VIP into this next Bloodcage, a downtrodden antiquarian's assistant. Will get VIP entrance into the next round. So thank you very much, Robert. Let's see. Member VIP pending. There was one that was stuck or something last time. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, Jello, who I believe was gifted a membership. So thank you very much for gifting the membership. I believe that was Stray who gifted a membership. Hey, if you want a VIP entrance tonight, you can do a super chat of, I believe, $3.99 or above. Or if you gift a membership, not only do you get a VIP, but the person you gifted a membership, it gets a VIP. And it looks like that, hey, you get a standard VIP membership as well. So our new channel member, Jallo, an overzealous mountebank, also gets a VIP thanks to Stray's gift. So, all right. Thank you very much, Stray. Jallo, you are in. So here are the VIPs. So we're gonna have some VIPs. All right. Is there anything else we need to do? Let's see. Please do hit like. If we hit 20, we will do the blessing of the fairy, and everybody will get one temporary hit point. I think it's time to get started right here. Let's go into the holding cell. Draft priority. Let's see. Bloodcage. We're going to get started. Draft priority is all super VIPs. We don't have super VIPs right now. VIPs are next. You only have one character in the Bloodcage at a time. So if you have multiple VIPs, we'll pick one VIP from that, and then you'll have another VIP for next time. You should only have one character per Bloodcage. So super VIPs, we'll pick from super VIPs, then VIPs. Then if you are actively chatting in the live stream, then you have priority, because that means you are here. We have a bot who is looking in the live stream and listening, taking account of everybody who's here. So if you are here and you're watching, hit bang spawn, ! Spawn, and do chat in the live stream so that the bot knows that you're here to give you priority draft access. Then everyone else who is not here, and then we'll fill in with wanderers. Okay, so Bloodcage. Yep. We will go fight in the Bloodcage in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's draft a party. Okay, so Jallo is in. An overzealous mountebank. Corey is in. And I think last time I started when I was first looking at him, I was calling you Corvy or something. I had an extra V in there. I am sorry about that. So that is Corey right there. Corey has Busta Jaws in, who is a dwarf who already has one blood drop. That means that he has already survived one Bloodcage. He survived on July 13th, 2026, and he is going for a second blood drop right now. Robert is in. A downtrodden antiquarian's assistant is coming in. Jeff. So Jeff Boca. I can't see the rest of the name here. Jeff B has an overwhelmed town militia in here. Daniel has a slouching city guard. Sable Phoenix has a dull cartographer's assistant. T66, we'll just say T66 has a dilapidated elf lore master's apprentice. Welcome to the Bloodcage. You're going to be going in. Oh, ill-starred, an ill-starred character, which means that character is in the bottom 12% of the bottom 12% of all ability scores that are rolled. Remember, we're going 3d6 down the line right here. Mrs. Dave, no Fs, is in. A reluctant sexton. That is a paladin right there. I decided, by the way, to leave Porter. I was Porter as pre-cleric and sexton as paladin. I was going back and forth on that, but I think that's right. So sexton is paladin. The sextons are the ones who take care of the church's ground and the graveyards and are in charge of the protection of the church, not just watching the door. The porters watch the door. So porters are clerics. Mrs. Dave as a reluctant sexton is paladin. Maid of Meat, a runaway town farmer right there. Dave off. Dave has a provincial pit gladiator in there, level 1 with 1 blood drop, a rare character. We have got to get this character. We've got to keep this character safe. Barbarians are very rare in this game, as it turns out. So only 1 and 354 spawns across all characters create a barbarian. Dave has one, and he's already been through the Bloodcage. That happened last night. We got to keep him safe. We got to do this again. Access Your Inner Light has Sir Linus in there, who is well-starred in the top 12% of ability scores, going for a second blood drop. Tomocrat, an exhausted herbalist, uncommon, also going for a second blood drop. Oh, it's time. While you're in the Bloodcage, while you're in the holding cell right here, if you super chat, you can buff your characters. But then once we go to the Bloodcage, you cannot do that anymore. Let's see. So this is looking pretty good, though. We have average HP of 5. We have 5 level 1 characters in here. That's pretty incredible. We have 5 level 1 characters which have returned to fight in the Bloodcage. We have 7 level 0 characters. That means we have 65 total hit points, or health points rather, in the game here, for an average number of health points for 5 per character. Jallo has a 70% chance of survival. We have the odds maker has returned the chances of survival. Jeff has a 97% chance of survival. The Overwhelmed Town Militia. Sable Phoenix has an 84% chance of survival with a dull cartographer's assistant. Rather dull, but a good chance of survival. And then Tomocrat, an exhausted herbalist, has a 96% chance of survival. So this is the odds maker, anyway, who is a goblin who is running the betting table. Hey, PH, welcome. Tends to think that we got a pretty good crew here. So we could sweep this Bloodcage. We could sweep it. So here we go. Let's go to the tavern. Or not to the tavern, to the Bloodcage. I'm going to turn off the tavern's music. Let's go to the Bloodcage. Is this looking pretty good as far as how it is looking on screen? Yeah, kind of looking like it to me. All right, so let's open the Bloodcage. Here we go. How do we stack up? Let's find out. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see. Okay, there we go. That looks good on screen. Okay, so how are we stacking up right here? The first line, an Overwhelmed Town Militia, Jeff B. You're on the first line. Next up, Mrs. Dave, no F's, a Reluctant Sexton, first line. Corey, Busty Jaws, first line, right there. That's your dwarf. A Provincial Pit Gladiator, Dave, first line. Okay, that's your favorite position right there, Dave. Right there, at the what is that? The right flank of the front line. So Dave is there again. I believe that's where you were last night as well. That's a very solid front line, and we also have fighter types lapping to the second line. Sir Linus, access your inner light, second line. A slouching city guard, Daniel Donnart, second line. An overzealous mountebank, Jallo, second line. A dilapidated elf loremaster's apprentice, second line. A runaway halfling farmer, made of meat, third line. A dull cartographer's assistant, Sable Phoenix, third line. An exhausted herbalist, Tomocrat, third line. A downtrodden antiquarian's assistant, Robert, third line. Okay, so there we go. We have 12 PCs or 12 heroes in here. We are fighting 14 monsters, and we do have, as I believe Access Your Inner Light just saw, 2 white apes in there. So 12 to 14 with 2 white apes. Let's go. Here's to you, everybody. Here we go. Paladins can use swords, Inner Light. Cartographers and antiquarian's assistant become mages. Sable. So, okay, Pit Gladiator. He drew first, coming up on Slimeling. He absorbs 2 points of piercing damage right there, but he still takes damage right there. SDK, we should not be throwing holy water right now inappropriately. Okay, Herbalist Tomocrat comes up looking at the goblin, casting poison spray, 4 points of damage. The goblin inhales corrosive gas. It's too much for his lungs. He drops down to -1 hit points. Nice job, Herbalist. He drops. Okay, Overzealous Mountebank. This is Jallo coming in, looking at Gremlin. What can he do? He's coming up. Oh, but he's moving here. Perhaps retargeting? Yes, retargeting to Slimeling. An Overzealous Mountebank comes up and targets the Slimeling, drops him down to -2 hit points. So the Slimeling is out. Runaway Halfling, made of meat. Okay, looking at Gremlin over here. Want some Gremlin. Looking like tiptoeing toward the Gremlin right now, but decides to not engage. The Gremlin was too far away. Overzealous Mountebank, critical hit. Oh, being hit by Goblin Runt. 1 turned aside by stamina, but also takes 4 hits. Oh, Jallo's Overzealous Mountebank drops, but unconscious on the floor. Drops. Okay, so he's still alive but unconscious. If the heroes are able to win this, we'll be able to haul him out. Okay, a downtrodden antiquarian's assistant, Robert Romano, casts Acid Splash, going up against Goblin number 2, a 2-point minor acid wound. The Goblin screams, but he still has 1 health point remaining. A Reluctant Sexton does resistance against the Exhausted Herbalist. That's going to give him additional... Oh, was that hit points? I believe it was hit points that he just got back. The Gremlin is trying to get to the Pit Gladiator, but is intercepted by the runaway Halfling of Made of Meat. 1 stamina point spent. Lots of health points still with this Halfling who advanced. So nothing going there. Cave Imp now coming up to Tomocrat's Exhausted Herbalist. 2 points of stamina damage. Still has 5 of 4 health points. Additional temporary hit points. Doing well there. Cave Imp number 1 now coming against Robert Romano. 3 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taken as injury. Robert Romano has 2 of 4 hit points left. Ratkin Mongrel wants some Pit Gladiator, comes up to bite, lunges to bite, 2 points, 7 of 9 hit points left for the provincial Pit Gladiator. Now, Sir Linos, access your inner light, coming up on Cave Imp in the flank. Come on, hit him hard. Let's do this. Cave Imp reels for 5 points of damage, a bludgeoning wound. Excellent. The Cave Imp's eyes go dark, down to -3 hit points. Nice job, Sir Linos. Overwhelmed Town town militia goes into Goblin. 1 point of damage. That's enough. Already hit by the acid. The 1 minor point, minor piercing wound is enough to drop him. Nice job. It is now 11 PCs up to 10 monsters. The PCs are cutting the monsters down. Kobold Crawler number 1 comes in with a dart to an overwhelmed town militia. No damage right there. Took no injury right there as a result of that. Took that dart just fine. Oh no, it's White Ape's turn. Looking at the provincial Pit Gladiator. White Ape is coming up to Dave. Probably coming in with the fists, yes, to slam him. Oh, the overwhelmed town's militia half helm cracks and sheds. A near miss with death. Now also targeting the provincial Pit Gladiator. Oh, we've had 2 attacks. Oh, critical. Oh, the Pit Gladiator's half helm also cracks and sheds. So that wasn't the Pit Gladiator who was attacked first. Came in. Both of you took it on the head there. And your helmet cracked right there. Cave Imp number 3 comes in to claw an overwhelmed town militia in the flank, rocked by 3 points of damage. Jeff B., you're down to 3 of 6. 11 PCs to 10 monsters. Kobold Crawler in the back, also looking at Pit Gladiator. Throwing, wants some Pit Gladiator. You're attracting a lot of attention, Dave. Deflected. Oh, nice. Deflected. Shield comes up, turns the blow. No wounds right there. That's how you deal with a Kobold Dart. Proving why you are the rare Pit Gladiator. Busted Jaws. Corey comes up to Goblin Runt. 3 points of damage. Totally enough right there with a Warhammer right there. Warhammer into Goblin Runt's head. Drops Goblin Runt. Nice job. Dull Cartographer's assistant Sable Phoenix wants some White Ape, is able to cast against it, casting Fire Bolt right there. 1 point of damage to the ape. Ask me that again, Tabletop Scholar, in a moment about how to get a helmet and a shield. As we continue right here, Slouching City Guard is coming up toward White Ape, is trying to get there. We have a very solid front line. Daniel is not able to get to his target, the White Ape. Dilapidated Elf Lore Master's Apprentice wants some White Ape number 1, so decides to cast Ray of Frost at the White Ape. 2 points of damage. The White Ape is now at 6 of 8. Good job, T66. First time in the Bloodcage. Decides to go with Ray of Frost and then backs out of there. He decides to get out of there. White Ape number 1 wants some Pit Gladiator. Throws a stone. The boulder comes in. Deflected. Even though it's at Dave's flank, the boulder is deflected right there. Kobold Crawler number 2 coming in, looking also at Dave. Look, throwing the dart again. Kobold darts. He is just a kobold dart magnet right there in the flank. Sustains 1 point of damage. So he is now at 6 at 9 right there. The Barbarian Pit Gladiator is still up. That was just round 1, people. We are now moving to round 2. Who's up first? Kobold Crawler number 3 also wants to throw at the Pit Gladiator, our Barbarian in here in the flank. Hit for 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. These kobolds, when you're that large and that muscular, man, they want you. Okay. Everyone wants you, yes, when you're that large and that muscular, but especially these kobolds with these darts. Okay, so we might have to deal with some arrows coming in. Overwhelmed Town Militia is coming into White Ape number 2, attacks with a minor piercing wound with his long spear, jabs at White Ape number 2. Cave Imp number 1 rakes his claws at Robert right here, 2 points of damage. Oh, that is enough to drop Robert's downtrodden antiquarian's assistant. He drops right there. Runaway Halfling is coming into the Gremlin right here. This is Made of Meat's Farmer, 3 points of damage. That is plenty to drop a Gremlin. That's what Halflings do. They drop this Gremlin and he is down. Ratkin Mongrel targets Provincial Pit Gladiator coming in on his flank. Deflected right there. Deflected. Pit Gladiator deflects the Ratkin Mongrel's strike once again. We have 10 PCs up to 11 monsters and 1 PC laying on the floor. An exhausted herbalist comes in on Cave Imp and drops Cave Imp. His legs buckle and it's over. Okay, Arrow Storm. Zorn looses the volleys. There are goblin archers all around the top of the Bloodcage. They shoot 3 arrows. Access your inner light. Sir Linos takes 4 points. Oh, 1 turned aside and 3 taken as injury right there. A dilapidated elf lore master's apprentice takes 3 points of damage. Don't let me forget that. Oh, Super Chat comes in from Corey. Enoch, it got a VIP. Thank you very much. So we'll get him in. Thank you very much, Corey. An exhausted herbalist moves back. White Ape number 2. Who is he looking at? Looking at an overwhelmed town militia. Comes in on his flank. Straight to the chest. Oh, no. An overwhelmed town militia takes 7 points of damage. I'm sorry, Jeff B. Man, just absolutely crushes the chest. Your whole rib cage just crushes open under the attack of his fist. Oh, and he attacks again at the runaway halfling farmer. Takes 4 points of damage, 1 turned aside with stamina, but he is still up. That White Ape came in pummeling them. Kobold Crawler throws into Corey. 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. We've got a fight on our hand. 9 PCs to 7 monsters. 9 PCs to 7 monsters right now in the second round. A reluctant sexton, Mrs. Dave, comes up to Cave Imp number 3. 5 points of damage to the Cave Imp. A major bludgeoning wound. That is plenty to take care of the Cave Imp. Nice job, Mrs. Dave. Kobold Crawler number 2 is headed toward the Pit Gladiator. Decides to throw again. These kobolds carry 2 darts apiece in the flank. Deflected. Deflected. Doing exactly what you're doing here. Deflected. No damage to Dave right there. No damage. Okay, so now what? Dull Cartographer's Assistant Sable Phoenix wants some White Ape number 2. Goes for Firebolt right now. Critical hit with Firebolt. White Ape flares with 8 points of damage. 8 points of damage. Sable just cooked that White Ape. He drops right there, dead. Smoking White Ape. Zorn is getting ready on the portcullis. These PCs are getting too uppity. Oh, and he raises it. A Ratkin Gore Strider with a Ratkin Gore Child. appear in the back. Ratkin Gorechild comes up to Tomocrat's Herbalist. Bad place to be standing. 6 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 5 taken as injury, but he drops unconscious on the floor. He's not dead. If we can win, we'll get out. Now, Ratkin Gorechild is heading to the Slouching City Guard of Daniel. Daniel takes 4 points of damage. He is now at 3 of 6 health points. We now have portcullis monsters behind our lines. Be careful, everyone. White Ape now coming at Busted Jaws. 3 points of damage. That's going to leave a mark. And then also at Provincial Pit Gladiator. Oh, critical hit. Critical hit. No, 9 points of damage. A grievous bludgeoning wound. Oh, but he's still alive. He is still alive. Our rare Barbarian Pit Gladiator. Can we get Dave out? He was doing so much work here in the Bloodcage. Dilapidated Elf Loremaster's Apprentice goes for Ray of Frost against the Gore Strider. 1 point of damage only. Yes, SDK says, save Dave, save Dave. A Slouching City Guard comes up on the Ratkin Gorechild. 4 points of damage. The Ratkin Gorechild is hurt badly, but still clinging on. Sir Linos weaves resistance around the runaway halfling farmer. Right there, so he will have additional chances to save. Busted Jaws comes up to White Ape. White Ape is rocked by 5 points of damage, a major piercing wound, but not enough to drop him. That ape is still up. We go on to round 3. New initiative draws with the initiative card. The deck has been shuffled. Ratkin Mongrel comes up to Dave's rear. A Slouching City Guard. What's he going to have to take? Only 2 points of damage. He has 1 point of damage remaining. This is a fight here. 7 PCs to 7 monsters. We are 7 to 7. Kobold Crawler number 1 comes up to Mrs. Dave's Reluctant Sexton. Puts 3 points of damage or 3 wound hurt on Mrs. Dave right there. Slouching City Guard now headed up to Gorechild. Want some Gorechild. Can you bring it down? Brutal critical. Ratkin Gorechild is rocked by 7 points of damage. A tremendous bludgeoning wound. The Ratkin Gorechild is dead. -6. Daniel, you just destroyed that Ratkin Gorechild right there. Sir Linos. Okay, want some Kobold Crawler right there. Struck for 2 points of damage. That is enough to drop the Kobold Crawler. Takes that action away from the monsters this round. Nice job. It is now 7 to 5. Kobold Crawler number 3 sees Daniel, moves up into the flank with a long knife into the Slouching City Guard. 1 point of damage. Oh, but that is enough. Oh! But Dave is still, not up. He is down, but unconscious, sitting there on the floor right there. White Ape number 1 comes up to Busted Jaws. Oh, critical. Finds the vitals with the fists right here. Pummels him, I guess, just collapses his chest. 7 points of damage. Corey, you are now down at -5 hit points. We just lost a level 1 character. F in the chat, everyone. Level 1 character has been lost. Corey's Busted Jaws level 1 character has been lost. Very sad. We just lost a level 1 character. And then he retargets into Sir Linos, who turns the strike aside with his shield. And his rampage is broken, even though wood splinters go everywhere with the shield. No damage right there. 1 point of damage to the Kobold Crawler as Made of Meat is trying to get some Kobold Crawler. We are now 5 to 5. We are in a serious fight right here. A Reluctant Sexton goes for 1 point of damage. That's enough. Already taken a minor piercing damage. He was bleeding, came in with bludgeoning, took out a Kobold. Nice job. 5 PCs to 4. Now, Dilapidated Elf Loremaster's Apprentice wants some Gore Strider, comes in with a long knife. The elf comes in with a long knife, trying to do some Legolas stuff, but only puts in 1 point of damage to him. The Dull Cartographer's Assistant, Sable Phoenix, also wants some Gore Strider with the dagger. 4 points of damage with a dagger into the Gore Strider. Nice. The Gore Strider is not buffed. I believe he cannot heal. And that's why it's blue. Or it might be that he was hit by the ice, and so he has lower movement. The dilapidated elf lore master's apprentice T66 has dropped. I am sorry. I need to change that color. Zorn spares the worthy. There we go. We got through. That was 3 intense rounds. 4 souls walk out alive. 4 are hauled out unconscious. Zorn has seen enough. You earned the gruel that you ate in his tavern right there. 3 rounds, and you made it through. So that was 4-4. Zorn said, call it. They earned their gruel. There you go. The winch room. All right, let's go to the winch room. These guys, okay, so why are these guys still in the winch room, by the way? Mike Melanic's Tremulous Gnome Apprentice Illusionist and Brandon Campbell's Trembling Town Watchman made it through the Bloodcage, but there were not very many XP awarded in the Bloodcage that they got through, which was legitimate. According to the math, that they did not get through. There were just not many XP awarded, but they did live through it. And I'm just making the call that if you make it through the Bloodcage, then you become level 1. Okay, for all characters right here. So I adjusted that. Instead of having negative XP, they have been moved to 0 XP, which makes them level 1, which I think I already awarded them. And actually, so, okay. So they're still in here, but I believe they've already been awarded. Oh, yeah, it says they are level 1. So they have already been promoted to level 1. Let's turn the winch. So they're just hanging out here until we sort and dismiss. That's what happened right there. How are we doing on likes, everybody? I see we have 14 likes right here. Let's see. What was the question that somebody asked? Is there a way to get back? I believe it was, is there a way to get back helmets and shields? The gifts of the fairy right now. Now I gotta find, I'm going to come up with some way to get gold and silver and treasure, obviously, but we're just fighting our way through blood cages right now. We'll be able to rebuy them, but right now, the only way to get them back if you lose them is through the gift of the fairy, which we did have last night. All right, let's deploy the goblin medics. Like stand at 16. Goblin medics tend to wound. Nice job. Made of meat. Tomocrat. Overzealous mountebank. Looks like no help. No. Oh, provincial pit gladiator. You get some help. Oh, you're going to need that. You're definitely going to need that. Oh, man. Your wounds are easy for the goblins to fix up. That is fantastic. You're still going to spend some time in the infirmary. Let's see. Slouching City Guard. Also, Daniel, you get plenty of help. Oh, plenty of help from the goblins. The goblin medics are rocking it tonight, or at least in that blood cage. Nice job. Let's go to the promotions. Who promotes? An overzealous mountebank. Jallo, you get a level 1 thief. Nice job. Your wounds are washed away. Made of meat. Level 1 halfling. Nice job. Your wounds are washed away. A Slouching City Guard. Daniel, you become a level 1 fighter right there. Your wounds are washed away. The fairy's blessing help. Dull Cartographer's Assistant, Sable Phoenix, you get a level 1 mage right there. And you've learned mage armor. Okay, so you will have mage armor once we get that functional. Okay. All right, let's sort and dismiss. Nice job, everybody. We can look in the infirmary. Renee still has, let's refresh this to make sure this is the case. Renee still has 22 days to recovery. Foolhardy Torchbearer. Recovery is still in real time if you are new here. We don't deduct just injury from a total pool of hit points. Everything is an actual injury that you receive. And it's easier to heal from smaller injuries. You would rather take 6 1-point injuries or wounds rather than 1 6-point wound. So there we go. There are still people in the infirmary right here. The stable, if you made it through, then you are now in the stable. The stable, you cannot be drafted again, so you will not fight again. Corey says that I like that it's real time. There's a lot that I want to do with real time right here. But that's the first thing. So, or really the real thing. Well, also spell recovery. If you are a magic user or a cleric or a gnome or an elf who has spells and you have spell slots every 24 hours, that is actual 24 hours. So be aware of that if you can bring characters back from the stable over to the tavern like SDK just did with Bang T All, but be aware that if you bring magic users over, you might want to go to zornsdungeon.com and check how many different spell slots they have, because you probably don't want to move magic users over who have not spent 24 hours to recover their spells. So there we go. So, but if you want to move your characters over from the stable, Bang T space all is the way to do that, or go to zornsdungeon.com where you will have much more granular control over exactly which character you want to move over. Yes, you can use Bang T dog tag for a character and move them over, but it's probably easier if you just go into zornsdungeon.com. And thankfully, Google has allowed me to use their login now, and I'm no longer in testing mode, so everybody can log into zornsdungeon.com and see their characters. Leaderboard we'll look at later. How are we doing on zornsdungeon.com? 88 total players. 88 total players. All right, let's go to the tavern. So, how are we doing over here on the tavern? Enoch. Corey has moved over. Corey has moved Enoch back over. Anybody want to move people over? How many likes do we have? Do we have the do we have 20 likes yet? I don't think so. Oh, a small hand reaches out. A small hand reaches out. Mrs. Dave, don't let me forget that. So, Mrs. Dave, you're trying to buff a character. Don't let me forget that. Let me grab a piece of paper. Mrs. Dave just sending $1.99. So you get your iron coins on the website. Mrs. Dave. You may be trying to do that. You may be trying to buff somebody. Let's see. So what does the fairy say? Oh my God, it's the fairy. Hero of the cage, you bled for Zorn in his cruel game, and though you did not break, your gear did. Here, take this. I found it for you. It might have the blood of those less fortunate than you still on it, but it was all I could find. Use it well to become the hero that I know you can be. Let's listen to the fairy's music. Right here. There's the fairy's music. Continue. What? Oh, no. Well, okay. No gifts. Sorry about that. No gifts. I guess there's no gifts. I can't hit continue. Okay. No gifts. Sorry about that. I guess we just hold. Sorry about that. All right. So we will hold with the gifts of the fairy until later. Okay. All right. Everybody ready in the tavern? Enoch in. Everybody ready to go? The holding cell. All right. Let's go. Mrs. Dave, if you're drafted, I will give you a buff. Let's draft the party. You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the next Bloodcage. If you want to buff anybody, it is now. Super chats are now on. Oh, Access Your Inner Light says I was able to VIP level 0 characters, but did not work on level 1 characters. Okay, I will check that out. Okay, I will check that out. Okay, so Access Your Inner Light has a cornered hedge mage in uncommon and ill-starred. Uncommon and ill-starred right there. Corey has Enoch. Enoch got in. So Enoch is in. Junwan. Okay, so first time in the Bloodcage. Junwan 1281, an overmatched blacksmith's apprentice. Tomocrat, a bumbling town watchman, is in. Dave, an ill-equipped bandit right there with 2 blood drops, looking for a 3rd blood drop. So that's the character, or one of the characters. Oh, I see Mrs. Dave as well. Mrs. Dave right here. I'm going to give you, since you sent in the super chat, probably trying to buff a character. Mrs. Dave, your tremulous cultist, gets the buff right there. Dave, an ill-equipped bandit looking for a 3rd blood drop made of meat, a fumbling dwarf armorer's apprentice is in. SKD Fish, a resigned pilgrim, is in. Mrs. Dave has a tremulous cultist going in for a 3rd blood drop who is well starred. T66 has a wide-eyed lector going in. PH Arbex has a weary pilgrim who is well starred going in. John has an overwhelmed mountebank going in. Daniel Donnert, a batten of the sabbled ruins. That's quite a name right there, going in. So how is our chances of survival going right there? Oh, Daniel says, a batten, Sable Phoenix, that's a reference to you for keeping him alive as a level 0. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Hit the like button if you're here, and also the subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. Okay, 11 seconds. Best odds, Yunwan, 1281, has 74% chance of survival. Oh, but that's the only one who's marked well, so this could be interesting. We have 8 pre-class, 8 level 0 characters, 4 leveled characters for a total of 4 levels, which means 4 level 1 characters. Average HP of 4. Okay, well, I guess I need to toast everybody right here. All right, toasting everybody. Let's go in and see what happens, shall we? Let's go to the Bloodcage. Refresh the Bloodcage. There we go. Let's open the cage. All right. So we are 12 to 13. Only one white ape this time. Only one white ape this time. 12 to 13. Rather evenly matched. Front line. Fumbling dwarf armorer's apprentice. Made of meat. Front line. Overmatched blacksmith's apprentice. Junwan. Front line. A batten of the sabled runes. Daniel. Front line. 1 blood drop. A bumbling town watchman. Tomocrat. Front line. Next up, second line. Okay, it's an excellent front line. That's a good front line. We go to the more squishies on the second line. An overwhelmed mountebank, John, second line. An ill-equipped bandit, Dave, second line. A resigned pilgrim, SDK Fish, second line. A wide-eyed lector, T66, second line. The third line is a weary pilgrim, PH Arbex, third line. Mrs. Dave, a tremulous cultist with 2 blood drops looking for a third line. A cornered hedge mage, access your inner light, third line. And then finally, Enoch. Okay, so Corey going for a second blood drop, third line right there. So that's our lineup. 12 PCs versus 13 monsters. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Who's up first? Oh, White Ape decides to go first, draws first, goes for Yunwan, throwing his boulder over at the blacksmith's apprentice. A moderate bludgeoning wound. Oh, but that drops him. 4-point wound. Oh, I am sorry, Yunwan. First time in the Bloodcage. That's the life of a level 0 character. Hit by a boulder from a white ape and drops immediately. Terribly sorry about that. Now, fumbling blacksmith's apprentice comes up. Look. I am terribly sorry. Let's see. Now, Town Watchman now coming up to Goblin number 3. 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. It is 11 PCs to 13 monsters now. Goblin number 3 comes into the bumbling Town Watchman, drives the point home with his crude spear, down to 1 point of damage for a bumbling Town Watchman. Enoch. Okay, Corey targets Goblin number 3. He is going for Firebolt.
hits Goblin number 3 for 2 points of damage. That's enough to drop him. Okay, so he already takes him down. That is enough. The Goblin's body goes limp, and it is finished. 11 PCs to 12 monsters now. Gremlin number 1 comes down to Abaddon, the Armorer's Apprentice. 3 points of damage to a fumbling Armorer's Apprentice, a moderate slashing wound. Kobold Crawler now targeting or firing the dart or throwing the dart at the Bumbling Town Watchman. 1 point of damage, but that is enough to drop Tomocrat, but he crumbles to the floor, unconscious, not dead. Unconscious, not dead. Can we get Tomocrat out of there? Kobold Crawler advances. A wide-eyed Lecter T66 wants some Gremlin number 1, comes in with a club to club this Gremlin to death. A brutal critical, 6 points of damage at on the Gremlin. The Gremlin parts and bone parts and fragments go everywhere in the Bloodcage. The wide-eyed Lecter has dropped that Gremlin. Is now 10 PCs to 11 monsters. Goblin number 2 comes up to wide-eyed Lecter, a puncture wound with his crude spear, 2 points of damage right there. An overwhelmed mountebank John sees Goblin number 2, comes into his flank. An overwhelmed mountebank comes in, 1 point of damage on the Goblin, a minor slashing wound. That is not enough. We needed more than that, but I guess we will take it. Okay, now Cave Imp sees the overwhelmed mountebank, claws at him in the flank, takes 3 points of damage. The overwhelmed mountebank of John is still hanging on. He is hanging on with 2 of 4. I believe he had the fairy's blessing right there. The cornered hedge mage, this is access your inner light, casts firebolt at the ape, hits for 2 points of damage, a minor fire wound, scorches some white hair right there, so he's looking a bit more charcoal now. A wearied pilgrim, PH, now looking at Kobold Crawler number 1. Is he going to be able to get there, or is he going to be intercepted by this Goblin? He is. Swings his staff, 2 points of damage to the Goblin. Goblin number 2 drops. Nice job, Weary Pilgrim, PH Arbex. Drops right there. Zorn is readying the archers. The volley is coming. Will he shoot? Goblin number 1, looking at wide-eyed Lecter with his crude spear, takes a puncture wound of 4 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. The Lecter drops to the floor, unconscious but alive. We have 2 PCs unconscious but alive on the floor. Are we going to be able to get them out? It is now 9 PCs up to 10 monsters who are up. Ill-equipped bandit, this is Dave, wants some Slimeling number 1, but has to retarget. Looks like he's trying to get up. Oh, but he expended all of his movement there. Resigned Pilgrim, SKD Fish, looks at Kobold Crawler number 1, swings his staff, 2 points of damage. That's enough to drop Kobold Crawler number 1. Kobold Crawler drops dead, blood oozing out of his crushed skull right there. Arrow Storm coming in, 2 arrows. Zorn is shooting 2 arrows from above the Bloodcage with his Goblin archers shooting down. Made of Meat takes 2 points of damage. Oh, and drops. Oh, no, he does not drop. Fumbling Dwarf Armorer's Apprentice stays standing. He is reeling right there. He is reeling. Access your inner light. Cornered Hedge Mage crumples to the cage floor. Oh, he only had 1 hit point anyway, so your Cornered Hedge Mage, only a 1 hit point. Yeah, that's the life of a 1 hit point level 0 wizard. I am sorry about that. Dropped right there. Tremulous Cultist, Mrs. Dave, with 2 blood drops, looking at White Ape. Is she going to be able to do anything about this? We're going to see. Oh, yes, Poison Spray. Oh, chooses to go to Poison Spray at the Goblin instead. Poison Spray at the Goblin. 1 point of damage, or no, 2 points of damage, but the Goblin is still up. Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. The portcullis may be opening here shortly. Okay, Kobold Crawler number 3, way back there in the back, but has got a dart ready. Wants to shoot at the Pilgrim. Kobold, in the flank, throwing the dart into the Pilgrim's flank. This is SDK, 2 damage, but still has 2 of 3 left. Hey, welcome, Mushroom. Good to see you. Mushroom has entered the fight. Ratkin Mongrel now comes up on Resigned Pilgrim with his fangs. 1 point of damage, a minor piercing wound. We're still up 7 PCs to 9 monsters. Oh, 7 to 9. The monsters have gotten out front. Gremlin now coming up to SKD Fish. 2 points of damage, a minor slashing wound. A Resigned Pilgrim collapses out cold, but still breathing. Okay, we now have 4 PCs on the floor. Baden weaves, was that Virtue around PH Arbex, getting him 1 temporary hit point. Going for the buff right there instead. Slimeling number 2 looks for some bandit. Is he going to be able to get there? Slimelings are slow. Doesn't look like it. Does Zorn ever hold the portcullis? Yes. Yes, Zorn does hold the portcullis. Sable is asking. Slimeling number 1 moves toward, but isn't able to get anywhere. So Fumbling Dwarf's Armor Apprentice is unable to help himself. Now it's round 3. No, it's round 2. Round 2. All of that was round 1. Enoch, Corey, shoots the Gremlin. Gremlin burned for 1 point of damage. A minor fire wound drops the Gremlin. The Gremlin's body goes limp. It's finished. 6 PCs to 8 monsters. 6 to 8. Tremulous Cultist, Mrs. Dave, looking at Goblin number 1, going for some poison spray at the Goblin. Goblin sustains 3 points of damage, inhales, lungs collapse from the corrosion, and the Goblin drops and expires on the cold stone and backs up. Okay. Weary Pilgrim hits resistance on the mountebank, so he will have saves against death. Saves against anything, but right now death is the important thing. Cave Imp comes up on John. Cave Imp 1, 3 points of damage. Oh, overwhelmed mountebank. Oh, and drops. Okay, 1 blow, and overwhelmed mountebank is finished. So, John, sorry about that. The mountebank is dead. 5 PCs to 7 monsters. It's 5 to 7. Abaddon now comes up on Ratkin Mongrel. Cut him down. 10 points of damage. That's the way to do it. He just hews that Ratkin Mongrel apart. Abaddon drops the Ratkin Mongrel right there with a final thrud. See, there you go. Zorn stays his hand. 5 heroes are still drawing breath, and the War Chief decides to not find a mark. Okay, so he does not open the portcullis. Okay, an ill-equipped bandit comes up on Cave Imp for 3 points of damage and drops it. Right there. Cave Imp drops an ill-equipped bandit, going for 3 blood drops and advances 1. Okay, so Slimeling number 1 now coming up to Dave's character. Slimeling hammers with his pseudopods, 4 points of damage, 3 turned aside, 1 taken as injury. PH, you've got 3 of 4 left. 5 to 5 now. The heroes are cutting it down. 4 heroes laying on the floor. Kobold Crawler throws into Dave. An ill-equipped bandit takes 3 points of damage. You're still hanging on, Dave. 1 of 4 health points remaining. 5 to 5 still. Kobold Crawler number 3 now looks at Dave, throws with his dart into Daniel. Daniel twists. There is no damage right there. Twists with the blow. Stamina only. Stamina only. No injury right there. Slimeling number 2 now looking at Dave. Oh, this could be bad. 1 point of damage to an ill-equipped bandit. A minor bludgeoning wound. I am sorry. I am very sorry about that. That means that we have lost a level 1 character, Dave's ill-equipped bandit, who has been through 2 blood cages before. Dave, we have lost a level 1 character. Terribly sorry about that. F in the chat, everyone, for Dave's character. Sorry about that. A fumbling dwarf's armorer's apprentice can't do anything to help himself. Ape moves down to Abaddon's disabled ruins. Oh, critical hit! Critical hit. 8 point damage, 1 turned aside, but 7 taken as injury. Oh, the white ape comes in with a critical hit on Abaddon of disabled ruins. Also, so that is an F in the chat. We have now lost another level 1 character. I'm sorry, Daniel's Abaddon of disabled ruins, who's been through this one before, has dropped. I am so sorry, Daniel. Has dropped. Okay. We are now 3 PCs going into round 3. 3 PCs to 5 monsters. What's the initiative draw going to be like? Kobold Crawler comes up on PH with his long knife, sustains 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound, stabs at him, but is unable to take PH out. White Ape is looking at, Made of Meat, who is standing there reeling and staggered, drives his fist into the Armor's Apprentice, 2 points of damage. That is enough. But the fumbling dwarf Armor's Apprentice collapses like a marionette, alive but barely. Then the White Ape swings at PH Arbex in the flank, 5 points of damage, a major bludgeoning wound. Oh, I'm sorry. PH Arbex's A Weary Pilgrim is dead, and this White Ape is on a killing spree. We have got to drop it. We have 2 PCs to 5 monsters. Kobold Crawler number 2 is trying to get to the cultist. That's kind of a long distance. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he's not. Okay, now it's the Tremulous Cultist looking at that White Ape. This is Mrs. Dave casting poison spray at the ape in the flank. 4 points of damage, drops him to 2. Oh, are we going to be able to get out of this? This is the 3rd round. Will Zorn spare us? Enoch fires at the White Ape, casting Firebolt. Wants this White Ape in the flank. 4 points of damage. Does drop White Ape. The White Ape drops dead. Blood pools beneath him, I guess. And Enoch is fell-handed. 3 kills in a row. Enoch doing what he can here. We've got 2 PCs up, 4 on the floor, 4 monsters up. Slimeling can't get there. Slimeling can't get there. Slimelings are slow, so Slimeling's not moving in. Another Slimeling. I bet Slimeling's not going to be able to reach. Slimelings are slow. Slimeling number 1 comes into Mrs. Dave. Withers the blow on Muscle and Grit. 1 stamina point burned with the pseudopod slapping Mrs. Dave right there. Zorn spares the worthy. 2 souls walk out alive. 4 are hauled out unconscious. Nice job. Nice job. 2 fought to the end of 3 rounds. That's all you have to do to earn your gruel in the tavern. So you can eat another meal in the tavern and you hauled your friends out alive. Bloodcage number 2 is taken care of. That was quite a fight right there. That was a lot of people. A lot of people went unconscious and didn't die. That was really nice. So lots of people left incapacitated. Corey came out with Enoch alive. Mrs. Dave came out with a Tremulous Cultist alive, who now has 3 blood drops. Lots of incapacitated. Let's deploy the Goblin Medics. T66, get some help right there. Fumbling Dwarf Armor's Apprentice, get some help right there. Nice job. More help. Goblins doing well. Man, lots of work there from the Goblins. Very easy right there. Bumbling Town Watchman, get some help. SKD needs some help. Get some more help right there. And then get some additional help. Man, okay, the Goblin Medics are on fire tonight. Let's go over to promotions. Let's see what happens. Okay, Made of Meat. You get a level 1 dwarf right there. Level 1. A Fairy's Blessing right there. A Wide-Eyed Lector, T66. You get Cleric, level 1. Lots of people survived because of the heroic efforts of others. SKD Fish, level 1 Cleric. Level 1 Cleric right there. Fairy's Blessing wounds your washes your wounds away. Tomocrat, level 1 Fighter. 7 points of health. You're a very healthy fighter right there. A Bumbling Town Watchman, Tomocrat. Nice job. Hey, let's sort and dismiss. We're about to go to Cage 3, everybody. We're about to go to Cage 3. That was an intense fight. That was an intense fight. But 18. Okay. SKD Fish says, looks like we're up to 18 likes, 2 more for the Fairy's Blessing. We have 15 people watching right now. So if you have not liked the stream, please do go ahead and like the stream. Because if we get to 20 likes, then we will get the Fairy's Blessing, and everyone who is in the tavern at that point will receive +1 temporary hit point, and everybody needs every bit of hit points that you can possibly have. So yes, and if you hit that and you see that we have gone to 20, please let me know, because that's not something that I can track automatically through any type of API or something. Google does not allow me to do that. So you're gonna have to let me know when you see 20 hit points. Let's see this member pending. Let's see if that's true or if it is. Oh yes, SKD Fish. It gets a membership. Okay, a Rumpled Torchbearer is getting a VIP. So SKD Fish, thank you so much for being a channel member. So that is your free VIP. If you're a channel member, you're going to get a free VIP each round. Your Rumpled Torchbearer SKD Fish is going in. And also Hillbow Haggins. And SK. Oh, that's 2 VIPs on SKD Fish. So you only have 1 character in at a time. So if you have 2 VIPs, then we will save that. So you're going to have to the next round. So you're going to be in SKD Fish. I'm not sure which one's going in first, but you'll be in for the next 2. We have 2 more blood cages tonight. Oh, okay. Anybody need to bang spawn? Anybody need to do anything? Oh, you got that? Okay, got that through on the website. Yeah, if you log into zornsdungeon.com, you should be able to get a free VIP. So PH told me that, or who was that told me that maybe the level 1 characters are eligible to get VIPs on the website. I will check that after the stream. But if you want to, you got a level 0 character that you really like, and you want a VIP, you get a free VIP if you log into zornsdungeon.com. How does one activate their channel member free VIP? It's automatic. It's automatic. Whenever your channel membership renews, so John asks, how does one activate their channel member free VIP? There's nothing that you need to do. The bots are looking at that, and then every time your channel membership comes up for renewal every month, then that button up there that you just saw, this channel member VIPs, I'm not sure why it's grayed out, even though it says 1. I will look at that. That comes up, and then I click that, and you get it. So there you go. SKD says, I VIP'd Hillbow. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I will look at it. So you VIP'd Hillbow? Okay. Well, we'll check on that. We will check on that. But thank you. SKD says that it's working even for level 1 characters, which is what I thought, which is what it should be. But yeah, nothing extra, as John was saying, for the channel membership. Oh, okay. Well, let's go over to the holding cell. Draft priority, super VIPs, then VIPs, then anyone who has been active in the chat has priority, and then everybody else. So if you are here watching, hey, be active in the chat and get priority in order to fight. Let's draft the party. Let's see what happens. We will be live and fighting in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you want to buff anybody, super chat buffs are now active right now. How do you gift a random subscription, Corey says. If you look in, I'm not exactly sure what the button is, but if you go to, look down in YouTube, when you go to super chat or membership, there is a gift a subscription button. So that's part of YouTube's, you got to do that on the YouTube side. That's in the YouTube thing, like when you ordinarily would do a super chat or something like that. It's in all of those dialogue boxes. To gift a membership. Okay, so SKD Fish, Hillbow Haggins is up, who is well starred, top 12% and uncommon, and looking for a second blood drop. PH, an exiled cartographer's assistant, is in, looking for a second blood drop. Mushroom, you're in, a solemn blacksmith's apprentice who happens to be ill-starred. Sable Phoenix, a debt-ridden cartographer's assistant. Daniel, a Captain Celsus, who is level 1 and looking for another blood drop right here, looking for a second blood drop. Mrs. Dave, an untrained halfling burglar's apprentice, is in, looking for lots of people looking for more blood drops right here. Dave, looking for 3 blood drops. A stiff gnome apprentice illusionist. Corey, a wheezing hedge mage. T66, a guarded temple initiate. Tabletop scholar, an unsuspecting sexton. Tabletop tomocrat, a sullen lector made of meat. I don't see any red here. We've got 35 seconds, 4 average hit points, 52 total hit points of the party right here, 7 of which are level 0, and 5. We have 5 level 1 characters in here. Level 1 characters in here. If Mushroom says, if my blacksmith survives, I'm naming him Cream Brulee. Is it a sticker? Corey? No, a super sticker is something else. If you're looking for gifting memberships, a super sticker is something else. A super sticker is something else. Let's see. Okay, but PH, 85% chance of survival. 86% chance of survival of T66's Guarded Temple Guard. Dave has an 81% chance of survival, looking for a 3rd blood drop, and then also an unsuspecting Sexton Tabletop Scholar, 77% of survival. So, percent chance of survival. So, I mean, things are looking good, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. All right, let's go over to the Bloodcage. Oh, here's to everybody. Here's to everybody in the holding cell who is going in. Inner Light says it's listed next to super chats and stuff, so the bottom option, gift membership. All right, let's open the cage. Who have we got? Okay, front line. Oh, we are fighting 14 monsters. 14 monsters are in the cage with us. Only one white ape, though. Let me turn this off. There we go. That way you can hear the Bloodcage music. There we go. A Guarded Temple Initiate. T66, front line. A Vagabond Torchbearer, made of meat, front line. A Solemn Blacksmith's Apprentice, Mushroom Pumpkin, front line. Captain Celsus, Daniel, front line. Lapping around with a unsuspecting Sexton, also a fighter type, a Tabletop Scholar, second line. Second line, an untrained Halfling Burglar's Apprentice, Mrs. Dave. Then Hilbo Haggins. Okay, so SKD Fish, you are on the second line. A Stiff Gnome Apprentice Illusionist, Dave, you are on the second line. A Sullen Lector Tomocrat, third line. A Wheezing Hedge Mage, Corey, third line, rather. An Exiled Cartographer's Assistant, PH, third line. A Debt-Ridden Cartographer's Assistant, Sable Phoenix, third line. All right. Let's go. I'm glad I brought plenty of water this time. Let's go. See what happens. Bloodcage number 3. 3 of 4 tonight. Who draws first? Ratkin Mongrel wants a Vagabond Torchbearer. This is made of meat. Comes in. Sinks. Oh, deflected. Nice way to start this. Nice way to start this. A Vagabond Torchbearer deflects the Ratkin Mongrel's teeth attack. Tries to come up and bite him. Cave Imp coming up on T66's Temple Initiate, and that is also deflected. Shield goes forward into the Cave Imp, deflected. Nothing going there. All right. Nice job. Nice job, everybody. Kobold Crawler number 3 wants Mushroom's Blacksmith's Apprentice, throws a dart, comes in. Okay, so the dart finds, well, purchase, but for only 1 point of damage. Okay, so for 3 rounds, 1 point of damage, I think the PCs will take that. Untrained Halfling, Mrs. Dave, wants some Cave Imp, comes up with a dagger, sets for 4 points of damage, a moderate slashing wound. Cave Imp drops. Nice job, Mrs. Dave. Kobold Crawler number 1 wants to throw into Mushroom Pumpkin again as well. Mushroom Pumpkin about to take another dart. Comes in on the flank, actually. Throws. 3 points of damage. A moderate piercing wound. The Solemn Blacksmith's Apprentice, Mushroom Pumpkin, you drop. You drop, but are unconscious. We may be able to get you out. We will see. A Debt-Ridden Cartographer's Assistant. This is Sable coming up on the Ratkin Mongrel. Hits for 2 points of damage. That burns the Ratkin Mongrel to death right there. Collapses, burning. We got like burning hair, Ratkin Mongrel hair in the cage. Okay, so Kobold Crawler number 4 coming up to Guarded Temple Initiate. Trying to throw. Will he be able to throw? We'll be able to see. He's tall. They're short. Throws the dart into Made of Meat. 1 point of damage to the Torchbearer. 2 out of 3 right there. 17 people watching. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, everybody. Hilbo Haggins, SKD Fish, moves toward Kobold Crawler number 1 and hit Bang Spawn, exclamation point spawn to play. Goblin is pierced for 6 points of damage. Nice job, Hilbo. Hilbo comes in, completely takes out this Goblin number 3. That is Halfling versus Goblin. Oh, no, but now Goblin number 2 wants some Hilbo. Goblin number 3 wants some Hilbo, absorbs the impact, 3 points of stamina absorbed right there. A wheezing hedge mage, Corey, wants some white ape, is going to try to shoot all the way across, reaching out to touch somebody into the white ape, scorched for 5 points of damage, a major fire wound. We are smelling a lot of hair burning here in the Bloodcage tonight. Okay, Gremlin number 1 coming up to Hilbo Haggins. Hilbo Haggins reads the swing and rides it through. 1 point of stamina gone. No injury right now. Captain Celsus, Daniel, comes up to Gremlin number 1. Cut him down. Oh, that's the way. 9 points of damage. A grievous slashing wound to Gremlin. Cuts the Gremlin's head off right there. Gremlin blood everywhere. Nice job. 11 PCs to 10 monsters. Kobold Crawler number 2 sees that guy cut the Gremlin's head off, throws a dart into Daniel, pierces him for 1 point of damage right there. An exiled cartographer's assistant. This is PH Arbex looking at Goblin number 2, firing firebolt right there into the Goblin. 1 point of damage, a minor fire wound to the Goblin. Captain Celsus takes some damage right there. I'm sorry, I was looking at another note right over here. Goblin number 1 comes in toward the guarded temple initiate. Deflected. Nice job, T66. Your guarded temple initiate deflects it. Slimeling number 1 looking for also Captain Celsus. The Slimeling may not be able to get there, though. The Slimelings are slow. Yeah, it's kind of ponderous across the cage. Stiff Gnome Apprentice, Dave. Okay, so now Dave is looking at Goblin number 1, coming in with his staff. Oh, 4 points of damage with the staff. 4 points of damage with the staff into the Goblin, like cracks his skull. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. Lots of fighting has already happened. We haven't even had the archer volley yet. 11 PCs to 9 monsters. The PCs are doing pretty well here. A sullen Lector targets Goblin number 2, coming in with his club. 2 points of damage to Slimeling number 1, and drops him. Or no, does not drop him. Only 1 point of damage remaining. I'm sorry, does not drop him. White Ape now coming up to Tomocrat. White Ape coming up to Tomocrat. This might not be good. Coming in with his fist, driving fists. 1 point minor bludgeoning wound. And then again, that time, only 1 point of damage each time. So Tomocrat is at 2 of 4. Nice job. Okay, Gremlin number 2 coming up to Captain Celsus. 2 points of damage. Oh, he's hanging on. 1 point of damage only remaining for Captain Celsus. Zorn is loosing 2 arrows from the Goblin standing on top of the Bloodcage. They are shooting down. One goes into Sable Phoenix, bites for 2 points of damage. Sable has 2 of 4 hit points remaining. The other one who takes an arrow is Tomocrat's Sullen Lector, 3 points of damage. Oh, but he's driven to the brink, but he stays standing. He is reeling. Is he able to help himself? What just happened? There we go. A guarded temple initiate. Oh, goes critical against the White Ape. 7 points of damage. Drops the White Ape. Very nice, T66. We needed the White Ape to drop. Where are we? Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. I got to get us back into stream view. There we go. 10 PCs to 8 monsters. Okay, it's 10 to 8. 10 to 8. Not doing all that bad. Vagabond Torchbearer comes in on the flank of the Gremlin. 4 points of damage, cuts the gremlin apart. Limbs fly. Black gremlin blood flies across the Bloodcage right here. Unsuspecting Sexton, this is Tabletop Scholar, wants to come down to some Kobold Crawler number 1. May retarget. Yes, does retarget to Slimeling number 2. Rocked for 3 points of damage. He hit that Slimeling with a mace. It bursts apart. Slime goes flying everywhere, including on the Sexton right there. We got Slimeling slime all around here. It's only round 2. 10 PCs to 6 monsters. So, new initiative draws. Captain Celsius comes up to Kobold Crawler number 1, 6 points of damage, drops him to -4. Nice job, Captain Celsius. Hilbo Haggins wants some Goblin number 2, coming in, 6 points of damage. Whoa! Piercing wound, major piercing wound, right through the Goblin's chest. Drops Goblin number 2. Oh, the portcullis opens. We have a Ratkin Abomination coming in with 2 Ratkin Gore children. Oh, we are now at 10 PCs to 7 monsters. Ratkin Abomination comes into Mrs. Dave's Halfling. 6 points of damage, 4 turned aside, 2 taken as injury. Oh, we now have portcullis monsters behind our lines. Gorechild comes up to T66. Only 1 point of damage. The Temple Initiate right there. Ratkin Gorechild now wants some Corey, the Wheezing Hedge Mage. 2 points of damage, 1 taking its injury. Oh, that drops him, but he is still, he's unconscious. He is alive, but unconscious on the floor. Will the PCs be able to make it out? It is now 9 PCs to 7 monsters. Untrained Halfling, Mrs. Dave. Underdog decides to try to go for some Abomination. Pierced for 4 points of damage. A very respectable blow right there to the Abomination. Nice job, Mrs. Dave. Okay, so debt-ridden cartographer's assistant, Sable Phoenix. Firebolt at Ratkin Abomination coming in on the flank. 5 points of damage. I believe we have 1 point of damage remaining on the Abomination. Nice job. Hit the like, everybody. We have 15 people watching. Ratkin Gorechild hit for 1 point of damage by the guarded Temple Initiate. That was T66. Kobold Crawler number 2. We've got a fight here coming up on Captain Celsius. Skewered for 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. Oh, Captain Celsius drops. Captain Celsius, F in the chat for Captain Celsius. That was a level 1 character. I am sorry, Daniel. He had already been through the Bloodcage right there. Captain Celsius drops. Very sorry about that, Daniel. He did drop. So Kobold Crawler number 2 took him down. It is now 8 PCs to 7 monsters. 8 to 7. Exiled Cartographer's Assistant, PH, comes up on Ratkin Abomination in the flank with a firebolt. Strikes from behind. The Ratkin Abomination is hit for 4 points of damage. The Ratkin Abomination is burned to death by PH Arbex's Exiled Cartographer's Assistant. Nice job, PH. It is now 8 PCs to 6 monsters. Vagabond Torchbearer goes to Kobold Crawler number 3. Oh, but intercepted by Slimeling. Decides to retarget. Is able to take care of him in spite of piercing damage, which Slimelings are particularly resistant to. Slimeling drops right there. 8 PCs to 5 monsters. We are now deep into round number 2. Kobold Crawler throws a dart at Vagabond Watchman. 1 point of damage. Made of Meat, you are still hanging on there. 1 of 3 health points remaining. Okay, Kobold Crawler number 3 coming up to Hilbo. Throws. Kobold Crawler throws. Skewers him for 1 point of damage. Hilbo's got to get this dart out, but he is still up. Got this dart from this Kobold in his shoulder. Dave, this stiff gnome apprentice, looking at Ratkin Gorechild, swings his staff at him in the flank. So 6 points of damage. Crushes the Ratkin Gorechild's head. Crushes the Ratkin Gorechild's head. Nice job. All right, so 8 PCs to 4 monsters. Unsuspecting Sexton, Tabletop Scholar, coming up to Kobold Crawler number 4. Critical strike, sickening precision. Kobold Crawler is bludgeoned for 8 points of damage. A tremendous bludgeoning wound that lands clean drops this Kobold Crawler. Round number 3. We're going to round number 3. 8 PCs up to 3 monsters. Vagabond Torchbearer comes up to Made of Meat. Oh, no. Made of Meat comes up to the Kobold Crawler and drops him right with the dagger right there. Fell-handed. Vagabond Torchbearer has taken out 3 in a row. Nice job. Fell-handed Torchbearer doing some work in the Bloodcage tonight. Temple Initiate T66 comes up, puts 1 point of damage on Kobold Crawler. Not enough to drop him right there. Mrs. Dave now comes up on Ratkin Gorechild. Critical, no mercy right there. 7 points of damage to the Ratkin Gorechild. A tremendous piercing wound. Nice job, Mrs. Dave. Mrs. Dave takes out Ratkin Gorechild in a major way. Very nice. Exiled Cartographer PH now looking for a target. Can he get anywhere? I don't think he can get anywhere. Exile. Oh, trying. Oh, yes. Okay, trying to shoot at Kobold Crawler. Oh, but can't. Okay, move too far. Hilbo. Is Hilbo going to finish this for us? Hilbo comes into Kobold Crawler number 2. 7 points of damage. The Halflings have been doing some serious work tonight. The Kobold Crawler goes down permanently and earns Fell-handed. Hilbo fell-handed right there. 8 PCs up. That was done handily. 8 souls walk out alive. Victory right there. The crowd, 3 are hauled out unconscious. Very nice job right there. I mean, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 1 was lost. Yeah, Tabletop Scholar says Killbo. Oh, that's Killbo right there. Yeah, I like it. Okay, Winch Room. So, I mean, that was extremely effective, guys. That was extremely effective. Who died? It was Captain Celsus. It was Captain Celsus who died. We lost a level 1 character in there. But everybody else was hauled out. Nice job, everybody. Goblin medics tend to wound. SKD Fish gets some healing right there. Hey, Geek Phillip. Welcome, Geek Phillip. Welcome. So glad you spawned a flimsy cultist. Corey gets some healing right there. Nice job, everybody. Mushroom Pumpkin gets some healing. We got 1 more Bloodcage to fight through tonight. Then we'll take a look at the leaderboard and see how we're all stacking up. Goblin medics tending wounds. 16 people watching. Hey, how many likes do we have? Hit the like button. Are we going to be able to get to 20 likes before we go to the tavern in just a moment so that we can have the blessing of the fairy and everyone gets 1 temporary hit point who's in the tavern? So let me know, how many hit points do we, how many likes do we have? How many hit points do we have? How many likes do we have? We'll see. That'll be really nice. Let's go to promotions. 18 likes, the Tabletop Scholar says. So hit the like button if you're here and you haven't done it yet. And if you see that we hit 20, let me know. We got to get to 20, people. We got to get to 20 so we get the blessing of the fairy. Promotions. So we're going to have a lot of promotions, I believe, right here. So Mushroom Pumpkin, Fighter, level 1. Nice job. The fairy's blessing, wounds wash away. Vagabond Torchbearer, Made of Meat, level 1 fighter. Nice job. Wounds wash away. Guarded Temple Initiate T66. Nice Paladin. Level 1 Paladin. Nice job, Guarded Temple Initiate T66. You get a Paladin. Corey, level 1 Mage. Nice job. Corey, you made it through. Learned Light. You learned the Light spell. The Wheezing Hedge Mage. Nice job. Sexton, Unsuspecting Sexton, Paladin. Oh, Tabletop Scholar also got a Paladin. Tomocrat gets a level 1 Cleric. Debt-ridden Cartographer's Assistant, Fable Phoenix, gets a level 1 Mage. Oh, and has learned Protection from Evil. So once that spell is in, Sable Phoenix, debt-ridden cartographer's assistant, will now know protection from evil. Yes, right here. Inner Light says, anyone gotten to level 2? No, no one has gotten to level 2 yet. It requires 1,000 experience points to get to level 2. We're going to need to be able to go on adventures and go into dungeons, things like that, to get people collecting treasure so they can get to level 2. I believe the character with the highest experience points is like 150 experience points or something like that. So we have a long way to go to get to level 2. We still got to get level 1 completely functional because I get the level 1 spells in there. So no one is at level 2 yet. Let's sort and dismiss. All right. We'll look at we got people in the infirmary. Renee DeLocke is still in the infirmary. Yeah. How many XP? Not a lot. How many XP does each Bloodcage offer? Not a tremendous amount. Basically just enough to get you out of the -10 XP hole you're in when you spawn a level 0 character. So there are some people who have, been through it like 5 times who have like 150 experience points. But this is old school style. Excuse me. This is old school style. So what really helps you get XP will be getting gold. So right now, the Bloodcage, its purpose really is just to figure out who gets to level 1. But we have kind of some competition going on about how many times you can go through a Bloodcage. But the Bloodcage is really about getting to level 1. Mushroom Pumpkin. All right, so stable. Hey, so if you fought all the way through, if you're new here, if you fought all the way through here. Oh, Dave says, how many girls here? Mrs. Dave wants to know. So chime in for to let Mrs. Dave know. If you have fought all the way through, then you're in the stable. Oh, we have creme brulee. Okay, so Mushroom Pumpkin did rename a character creme brulee. Sarah, Sarah B is not here tonight, I don't think. But, Sarah B, she's a girl, but I don't think she's here tonight. But Sarah plays. If you are in the stable and you want to come back around and try for another blood drop, you can hit bang T all, and that will move all of the characters that you have from the stable over to the tavern. If you're in the stable, you are not eligible to be drafted fight again. The stable is your safe space, at least for now. The stable is your safe space for at least for now. And like that tells me that when I hit bang T all of my characters came over from the stable into the tavern. And if you want to go the other way, then you hit bang S to go to the stable all, and that goes the other way. So bang S all. But remember, level 0 characters. Oh yeah, Shellmel. Oh yeah, Shellmel as well. Sarah and Shellmel. We haven't seen a Shellmel character in a while. Shellmel showed up on the stream not too long ago. Let's see. But so if you hit bang S all, then that moves it the other way. Remember, level 0 characters are not eligible to be moved out of the tavern, but the system takes care of that for you. All right, so there we go. Anything else we need to look at? Who's come in? Like how many? Oh, we got 89 players now. We have 89 total players. We've spawned 771 characters and killed 355 of them. Corey, you need a space between T and all. You need a space. It's bang T space all. Bang T space all. You got to put a space in there. All of the bang commands are like that. It's bang some kind of command space and then whatever arguments you want to send in. All right, so here we go to the tavern. One more game tonight. Did we get to? Did we get to? Uh, 18 or no, I still just see 18 likes. I see 18 likes. We didn't get to 20 tonight. Okay, so there's no blessing of the fairy tonight. Only got to 18 likes. We're gonna have to try that again. Looks like you got it. Okay, so the holding cell. Let's go. All right, into the holding cell. Let's see who we draft. 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the next Bloodcage. We're going to draft the party. SKD Fish, a rumpled torchbearer. Corey, you got Enoch. Enoch is back in. I hope Enoch has spells. Mushroom Pumpkin, a blundering smuggler. Made of Meat, a splintered mountebank. Access Your Inner Light, a wary town watchman. Mrs. Dave, a gaunt pilgrim. Tomocrat, a shoddy lector. John, a driven mountebank. Sable Phoenix, an unlucky woodsman. Daniel, Harker the Unassuming. Oh, so, okay, Harker the Unassuming is coming in. Biggest single hit. He is number 2 on biggest single hit. And then I've got 2 blood drops. He's looking for a third. Geek Phillip, you are in. You are in. A flimsy cultist is a starless, which means he's in the bottom 2% of all ability scores, but he's here. Dave has a misguided gnome apprentice illusionist with 2 blood drops who happens to be starborn, the top 2% of ability scores total, and is uncommon right there. Okay, we got 1 minute and 20 seconds. Super chats that come in right now will buff your characters in the holding cell if you would like to buff a character right here. Mushroom Pumpkin says, I'm going to start a tradition of naming my level 1 characters after food. So 1 minute remaining until we get, and we're still looking for the odds maker to come up with the odds here. Daniel says, oh, Daniel just sent in a super chat for $6. Thank you very much. Going to Harker. Let's see, Daniel. And yes, we got it. So Harker, the goblins come in. I need some type of in-universe thing that comes up when you do that. So Harker now has +2 temporary HP, +1 damage, and also +2 to all saving throws. So thank you very much for that, Daniel. So, all right, so Harker, the Unassuming, is buffed. Oh, now we have some odds coming in from the odds maker. Everybody's kind of 50-50, looks like. We're kind of 50-50 here, except for Geek Phillip, who surprisingly has an 83% chance of survival. I say surprisingly because this is a mage type. So Geek Phillip, you're first time into the Bloodcage, and you've got an 83% chance of survival. So very nice right here. Let's see. Let's go to the Bloodcage. Let's open the cage. 12 to 12. 12 to 12. This might be an easy cage right here. 12 to 12. So we only have one white ape in the back right here. Okay, so our front line is Fawkes the Torchbearer, SKD Fish right here, front line. Then Harker the Unassuming, Daniel on this first line. Then a wary town watchman, Access Your Inner Light right there. And then, we got a light front line this time. Only 3 fighter types, but then a splintered mountebank made of meat. So a thief type is having to come up to the front line. Next, second line, let me get rid of some music over here. So we just have the Bloodcage. A blundering smuggler right here has a mushroom pumpkin right here, second line. A driven mountebank, John. A unlucky woodsman, Sable Phoenix. And then a shoddy lector, Tomocrat. That rounds out our second line. Our third line is a misguided gnome apprentice illusionist. That is Dave. Then a gaunt pilgrim, Mrs. Dave. And then a flimsy cultist, Geek Phillip. So there you are on the back, Geek Phillip, right there. Enoch's Corey, who may or may not have spells, we're going to have to see, is on the very back row right there. Looking for a third blood drop right there. All right, well, cheers to everybody. Got water tonight. Here we go. 18 people watching. Hit the like button. We'll check the like button one more time to see if we can get to 20, and we'll put in the Blessing of the Fairy. It lasts for 24 hours. That will last to our next game right here. So here we go. There's to everybody. Let's get started. Goblin number 2 is coming into Fawkes the Torchbearer. This is SKD Fish. stabbing with a crude spear, 3 points of damage. There you go. 3 points or 2 points of damage actually taken as injury right there. Now it's Dave, the gnome apprentice illusionist, I believe, looking at goblin number 2, who just came up, wanting to come into his flank right here. On the goblin's flank. Critical hit, finds the vitals with his staff right there. I guess that's the brain that he crushed open. 9 points of damage, drops this goblin to -6 hit points. Nice job, everybody. Or nice job, gnome. Oh, but now the gremlin is angry at this gnome who just dropped his friend. Gnome apprentice illusionist takes 2 points of damage. A minor slashing wound is now at 3 at 5. Fox comes in. Goblin number 1, a thrust of 5 points of damage, drops goblin number 1. Daniel says, where were Harker's temp HP? There was a lot that went on with Harker, right? Wasn't there? I will check on that, but there was a lot that happened. I didn't get to read it all off. Let's see. So flimsy cultist. So Geek comes up. A vicious critical hit. Poison goblin number 3. 5 points of damage. Yeah, is Harker gone yet? Yeah, I'm not sure. Harker the unassuming comes up on a grievous piercing wound. Yeah, I think he took a lot of damage. He has 5 of 6 remaining. I think he was okay, Daniel. I'll check on it at the end. But I think he took a large hit. He's at 5 of 6. Driven mountebank John comes up toward gremlin number 1, attacks the ratkin mongrel, rocks him for 1 point of damage, 1 of 2. We are advancing deep into the cage this time, looks like, with John right here. Shoddy Lecter also advancing deep into the cage. Tomocrat comes up on the ratkin mongrel's flank, is rocked by 7 points of damage. A tremendous bludgeoning wound hits the ratkin mongrel over the head with a club. Lights out for ratkin mongrel. Unlucky woodsman Sable Phoenix moving toward gremlin number 1. 12 PCs to 7 monsters. Doing very well. Can't get there, though. We're advancing deep into the cage. Enoch, Corey, shoots Firebolt. No, he does have spells. Enoch shoots. Reels from 1 point of damage, a minor fire wound into the ape. Looks like people are looking at it for me. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat. A gaunt pilgrim, this is Mrs. Dave, moves towards White Ape. Trying to get there. Shouldn't the woodsman have a bow and arrow? Not necessarily. Woodsman has a hand axe. The takes 1 point of stamina. The sprite may not necessarily represent the character's equipment accurately. That's why I put the card up there. So woodsman had a hand axe. Gaunt Pilgrim, 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. Doing a complete revision of all of the art and sprites and things like that for that is going to be a major undertaking. That's on the list, but I still have more like actual functional gameplay to work on before I do another whole round of revision of the art. Gremlin comes in to Driven Mountebank, a minor slashing wound. We're at 12 PCs. We still have 12 PCs up to 7 monsters. Yes, the woodsman turns into a ranger, yes. Kobold Crawler comes into 1 point of damage. Oh, so that was our first loss right there. Mrs. Dave, a gaunt pilgrim, is struck dead on the spot. White Ape now targets a driven mountebank, throws a boulder into John's driven mountebank, hits for 3 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. The life leaves the driven mountebank in an instant. So now we are dropping some characters right here. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. Cave Imp targets a shoddy Lecter coming down to Tomocrat's character. 2 points of damage. He has 5, though, So he is now down to 3 of 5. Kobold Crawler number 2, we're still in round 1 here, wants to throw at this tall guy right here. This is Sable Phoenix's Unlucky Woodsman. Takes 2 points of damage right there. He's down to 3 of 6. Arrow Storm. Zorn looses a volley, 3 arrows. 3 arrows from atop the Bloodcage right there. 1 hits Tomocrat. An arrow bites a shoddy Lector, taking 4 points of damage. Oh, but he is still up. He is driven to the brink, but he is still standing. He is reeling right there. An arrow bites Mushroom Pumpkin. 3 points of damage down to 1. Falks the Torchbearer also gets hit for only 1 point of damage. SKD Fish has 4 of 5 remaining. So we have survived the Arrow Storm. Portcullis incoming. Made of Meat moves toward Kobold Crawler number 1. This is the Splintered Mountebank. Comes in with a dagger for 1 point of damage into the Kobold Crawler right there. A Wayward Town Watchman moves toward Gremlin number 1, wants to cut him open, and does so. 5 points of damage, a major piercing wound, or actually just stabs him with a long spear is actually what he's got. A long spear skewers that gremlin right there. 9 PCs to 6 monsters remaining. A blundering smuggler, Mushroom Pumpkin, trying to get to the White Ape, may not be able to do it. Instead, probably going to retarget this kobold. Does, closing with the kobold, skewers it with a short sword for 1 point of damage. We are fighting comparatively deep in the Bloodcage, going into round number 2. So Enoch, now looking at the White Ape, wants some White Ape. Is he going to have a spell ready for him? We're going to see. Oh, no. Instead, comes into Cave Imp. 4 points of damage, though, with that dagger. Yes, wanted some Shiv practice? Well, Enoch comes in with a dagger into Cave Imp and cuts it apart. So, nice job. Unlucky Woodsman now coming in with a hand axe. Critical strike, 9 points of damage to Ratkin Mongrel. A grievous slashing wound. Ratkin Mongrel drops down to -7 hit points. Oh! Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. The goblins stand by on the crank. And the portcullis opens. Ratkin Gorestrider with a Ratkin Gorechild comes in behind us. So now what's happening? Gorestrider targets Harker comes into Harker, struck for 3 points of damage, a moderate slashing wound. Uh-oh. Now it is time for the Gorechild to come into Dave's Illusionist, tearing at the Illusionist with claws and fangs and everything else. 4 points of damage, a misguided gnome Illusionist. Oh, F in the chat. We just lost a misguided gnome apprentice illusionist. This is Dave's Starborn, an uncommon character who has been through the Bloodcage twice, has now dropped, has been cut down by the teeth and claws of the Ratkin Gorechild. Very terribly sorry about that. It is now 8 PCs to 6 monsters. Kobold Crawler. We have 1 PC laying dead on the floor. Splintered Mountebank bleeds from 3 points of damage from the Kobold Crawler's long and jagged knife. Flimsy Cultist Geek Phillip now looks at Ratkin Gorestrider, goes in with poison spray. Only 1 point of damage to the Ratkin Gorestrider. But doing what you can, Phillip. Oh, and Phillip gets out of here. Okay. Falks the Torchbearer comes up into Ratkin Gorestrider. SKD Fish, 1 point of damage. Only a minor slashing wound to that Ratkin Gorechild. Okay, now Harker wants some Gorestrider. Is he going to be able to cut a devastating strike? Gorestrider is struck for 17 points of damage. 17 points of damage. Harker puts 17 points of damage. A catastrophic piercing wound. That was a long spear. That was like driven through the rib cage and the heart of the Gorestrider. There we go. Okay, Kobold Crawler number 2 comes up to Sable Phoenix. A little bit of damage there. I was still caught up on what Harker did right there. Now Mushroom Pumpkin coming into Kobold Crawler number 2. 3 points of damage. down to -2. That was pretty epic, Harker. Hope we get out. 8 PCs to 4 monsters. 8 PCs to 4 monsters. A splintered mountebank going into Kobold Crawler number 1. 1 point of damage. That's enough. That is enough. Already had 1 minor piercing damage. I do really want to do the art so we upgrade all of the sprites so we actually see their equipment. Man, I really want to do that. I need more time to do that, though. Wary Town Watchman with a long spear comes up into White Ape. 2 points of thrusting damage. We still have 3 monsters up, 8 PCs up to 3 monsters. White Ape is hammering into Access Your Inner Lights. Weary Town Watchman. Oh, and drops him. Just like crumples the steel of his armor right there. I am sorry, Inner Light, you are dead. Round number 3. All of that has happened, and now it's only round 3. Flimsy Cultist wants some White Ape coming back into the fight, coming up to try to re-engage. Is he going to be able to get up there? No, he's not. Kobold Crawler number 3 with his long knife jabs at the splintered mountebank. 3 points of damage. Made of Meat, drops, but now we have him on the floor. He is unconscious. We may be able to get him out. We will see. 6 PCs to 3 monsters. Oh, it's White Ape's turn again. White Ape comes up to Sable Phoenix, lashing out an unlucky woodsman. 5 points of damage. A major bludgeoning wound. Sable drops down to -4 HP. The White Ape is on a killing spree, has dropped 3 already. Oh, 5 PCs. Oh, okay. So Enoch now comes up with his dagger, gashes him 4 points of damage. You are definitely doing some knife work, Corey. Or dagger work. Definitely doing some dagger work. Enoch is getting his dagger practice in. Oh, and he goes across the cage as well right there. Harker now sees some White Ape. Is he going to do it again? Harker comes in with his long spear, closes. 4 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. Isn't able to drop the White Ape right there. Fawkes the Torchbearer wants some Gorechild coming in, setting upon Gorechild. 7 points of damage. Cuts the Gorechild to pieces with a dagger right there. He is fighting with a small shield and a dagger, but does his work right there. It is now the Blundering Smuggler's turn. This is Mushroom Pumpkin. Is Mushroom Pumpkin going to be able to get back into action? Not sure. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. Mushroom Pumpkin comes in. 3 points of damage. Yes. And cuts apart the White Ape. Leaps in with a short sword. Cuts like hands and whatever else off the White Ape. Blood is all over. Victory. There you go. 5 souls walk out alive. Clean victory. 5 souls walk out alive. 2 are hauled out unconscious. The crowd roars for the living. Wow. Nice job. Oh, there we go. We got an MVP. Bloodcage MVP. Harker got a MVP badge. Nice job, Harker. MVP badge. We didn't see any of those last night in the last episode. So nice job. Congratulations to Harker. Harker just got an MVP badge. Those are pretty rare. So that is an MVP badge. Nice job. Definitely earned it. Definitely earned it with that epic attack. So, yes, Harker the Unassuming, ain't so unassuming. Yes, you got an MVP. Those are rare. MVP badge. Nice job. Nice job, Harker. Let's turn the winch and see who we get up. This was the last Bloodcage of the night, but still continue to bang spawn. We're going to check the likes, because if we've gone over 20, we will still have the Blessing of the Fairy that will last for 24 hours. So if we are over 20, please do let me know. We will go around, and then, of course, we will check the leaderboard tonight and do and see how things change tonight. So nice job. Enoch now has 3. Corey, you got 3 blood drops right now. Nice job, man. You got 3 blood drops. Daniel Harker, the Unassuming, has 3 blood drops. He is now number 2 in biggest single hit. Number 2 in biggest single hit right there. We know where that came from. And then also number 1 in most damage dealt. Number 1 in most damage dealt. Okay, nice job. Let's deploy the Goblin Medics. Harker gets some healing. He needs it. Goblin medics tend to wound. No effect. Okay. Made of meat. Get some help right there. And get some more help right there. Now it's 0 of 4. Gonna spend some time in the infirmary. Let's see. All right. Promotions right here. Geek Philip, you made it through. You have a level 1 mage. Nice job. Nice work. You have also learned Magic Missile. So, Flimsy Cultist, you have learned Magic Missile. Nice job. Wounds restored and magic spells restored. Splintered Mountebank, made of meat, level 1 thief. Nice job. Let's see. The Great Power, yeah, hit Bang Spawn. There's a 30-second global cooldown. Try again, Great Power. Please do try again. Bang Spawn. There is a 30-second global cooldown, so please do hit Bang Spawn again. If you hit Bang Spawn and it doesn't work, try it again, and then maybe you'll have a character in there you go. A pockmarked lector is using Mage Hand to reach an itch in a very private space. Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the tavern. Great Power. Nice job. So that characters are persistent, so that won't be waiting until tomorrow for the next episode. There we go. Let's process everybody. Hey, okay, so let me check over here. Let me see what I see on my side. Let me go to view on YouTube. Okay, so let me check over here. Let's see. And I see 20. People are saying 20 likes. I see 21. I see 20. Okay, so let's do a before we go over to the leaderboard and all of that, let's go over to the tavern and let's do a blessing of the fairy. So let's do a blessing of the fairy. Great Power, there you go. Your pockmarked lector is in. Let's do the blessing of the fairy. So everyone in the tavern right now gets +1 temporary hit point. +1 temporary hit point. Some people didn't quite make it in, but there we go. And that will last for 24 hours. So my plan is to play again tomorrow. I would like to play again tomorrow. So this lasts for 24 hours. Thank you very much to everybody who has hit the like button and helped spread the word about this live stream and this game that we're playing. So the fairy has come in and blessed everybody. Hey, let's go over here and let's go to the leaderboard. The MVP badge, Daniel says, is not on Harker's sheet. Okay, well, I'll look for it. NGRE. Okay, I'll look at that after the stream when I come through here again. I will look at that again. Okay, so nice job, Harker. Let's go to the leaderboard. So let's go. Most kills. Boar still has most kills. Does anybody change anything? Oh, Harker. Okay, so Harker has come up, raised by 8 with +2 kills. So Harker is now number 7 in our most kills with 7 kills. Okay. An ill-equipped bandit. This is one of Dave's characters. Did come up to 5, but died. Boss Slayer. So Fell-Handed Fae still has 3. That's Sables. So Sables is up. Enoch does hit 2. So Enoch appears at 2. I thought you might have 2, Enoch. So of all the right now the bosses or anything that comes out of the portcullis as well as the white apes. So I thought Enoch would have brought down 2 at that point. So nice job. We do have Fawkes the Torchbearer who has come up to 1. There aren't a lot of people who have actually landed the killing blow against boss monsters. Damage dealer right here. Okay, Harker the Unassuming. This is the biggest damage dealers. This is the total HP damage dealt across all matches. This is not a single hit. This is total damage dealt across the adventurer's career. Harker the Unassuming has now taken it from Boars. Boars, one of Stray's characters, had done 62 points of damage total in his career. Harker has now done 73 points of damage. Harker has done 73 points of damage, came up by 4 for +30 points of damage. That's epic right there. So Harker is now number 1 in damage dealt. Anybody else coming up? Drunken Hilbo Baggins. Oh, Drunken Hilbo Baggins right here. Good night, everyone who's having to leave. Drunken Hilbo Baggins, Hilbo Haggins, has dealt 30 points of damage. That's quite a lethal halfling right there. Enoch has dealt 29 points of damage. So that is also incredible. Captain Celsus had done 26, but unfortunately hasn't expired. So very nice. Most bruised. Renee still remains our most bruised, and Renee is alive. This is one of Sable's characters, and he is still alive. Busta Jaws, who has fallen, that was one of Corey's character, had taken 19 points of damage. So he's new on our damage leaderboard. But he is also dead. A provincial pit gladiator, Dave's character. Oh, new. The provincial pit gladiator. What more would you expect from a barbarian, or what else would you expect? He's taken 17 points of damage, and he is still up. So this is kind of a fun one. How much damage can you take and have people still actually be alive? Bronze Bottom is alive with 15 points of damage, and is number 15 in there. That's kind of fun. Biggest hit, Trin. Okay, so Trin is still at 20, but our second single biggest hit, this is single largest hit, is number 2 is now Harker the Unassuming. Harker, Daniel's character, number 2, a long spear against Kobold Crawler number 4. Yes, incredible. Incredible right there. Most XP. So I think that was Inner Light who was asking, has anybody hit level 2 yet? No. So the highest XP character is 149. That's Areste the Wanderer. Unfortunately, he is dead. Boars has 140 and is still alive. Murdalf has 111. So we got to get to 1,000 to get to level 2. So we're going to have to go and do some dungeons and some other things to collect some treasure in order to actually start leveling up. Wealthiest, we haven't gotten treasure yet, so that's just the random roll for whatever you start with. That doesn't mean anything right now. Blood drops right over here. Boars still leads us with 5. Renee has 4 and is our currently living character with 4. Ariste the Wanderer is dead. Sir Ryder with 3. We have lots of characters with 3. There we go. Tremulous Cultist, Mrs. Dave. We need a name for the Tremulous Cultist, Mrs. Dave. Who has become a 3 place. Bronze Bottom, 3. Enoch, 3. Lots of people with 3. A Stiff Gnome Apprentice, 3 blood drops. Takes us down to position number 15, and then 2 blood drops round out top 25. And then best defense, still taken by Boars. Yeah, I didn't really see that going on, except for the Provincial Pit Gladiator has come up to number 6. So he has arrived on the best defense board. So nice work. Let's go to the show wrap up. There were 52 kills tonight. 14 of our characters fell. There was 1 new champion. That's a number 1 on the leaderboard, and that is Harker the Unassuming on biggest damage dealer. There was 326 points of damage dealt tonight. Here is a memorial to all of our fallen right here. Warriors of the Night, most kills tonight. Enoch had 5 kills, actually. That was great. We had lots of people with 2. A Vagabond Torchbearer, Captain Celsus, Drunken Hilbo Baggins, and then we dropped down to 2 for Fawkes. Most damage tonight. Harker dealt 30 points of damage, but Captain Celsus dealt 26 points of damage. Drunken Hilbo Haggins hit 19 points of damage. Enoch 16. So there were some people who hit very hard. Blow of the Night, Abaddon the Sabled Ruins with a mace hit Ratkin Mongrel. And we've got some new people to the boards, as we've been looking at right here. So Misguided Gnome Apprentice Illusionist. Sir Linos hit the boards. So really nice. Is there anything that I need to look at in the chat? Did I miss anything? I feel like perhaps I was looking at the chat, but perhaps I was not nearly as attentive as I normally am. I was really involved in what was going on tonight. Is there anything that I need to look at that anybody had a question about or something that I needed to address? If you do, go ahead and hit it in the comments. But go ahead and hit Bang Spawn. If you want to move your characters back over to the stable, that's Bang S space all, Bang S space all. But do please go to zornsdungeon.com. If you log into zornsdungeon.com, you will have a much more granular way to be able to look at to manage all of your characters, look at their sheets and everything like that. Sable says, gonna have to find a way to indicate what magical effects are buffs versus debuffs. Yeah, I thought that if it was, so the debuff for Chill Touch is black. It's supposed to be black. So that must have been the Chill Touch debuff, which might slow people down. And so that may have been why it was blue. But that blue contrasts, or actually does not contrast. That buff does not contrast, or debuff does not contrast with other things that are blue on heroes. So yes, I do need to take a look at that. The sprites were just me and Gemini. The sprites are just me and Gemini. I would really love to be able to draw. I was like, I really want to draw some stuff. I really want to draw some stuff like paper dolls. Basically, paper dolls, like do all of the sprites, especially for the PCs, like paper dolls, so that if you change armor or helmets or something like that, you'll actually see that on the screen, and your sprite will actually better represent what kind of equipment you have. And I started a while back ago to try to kind of build out that in code. That's going to be a big deal. But I really love to be able to do that, to actually draw all of those. But I think we do have a really good aesthetic for the game right now. Can clerics buff other characters? Yes, clerics can buff other characters. I forget what spells they have at the moment. One of them, probably the buff they're using right now gives you a +2 to all saving throws. And the saving throw that's being used most in the Bloodcage is the saving throw versus death. So I believe, is it called? No, I don't think it's called guidance. But they also have a spell that can give you temporary hit points. So yes, clerics can buff. All right. Is there anything else I need to say? Right now? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to rewatch this. And please do go log into zornsdungeon.com. Thank you very much for being here with me tonight. I think it was a very fun night. Oh, Resistance. Innerlight says Resistance. Yes, that's it. Thank you very much. It is Resistance. All right. Well, have a wonderful evening, everybody. My plan is to see you again tomorrow night. I'm going to start watching this again, and I see some things that we need to fix and things like that. So I'm going to start working through things, and hope to see you again tomorrow night. Thank you so much. Let people know if you know anyone who would enjoy this, the game. Please let them know. We are still kind of in alpha right now. We haven't released version 1 yet. I'm still working on it. But I'm so happy that Google allowed our login on zornsdungeon.com. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Go forth, be constructive, and be creative. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Later, everybody.